Who's at your shows? Every age?
These days, every night I'll say, how many people is your first time seeing Limp Bizkit? The whole place raises their hand.
Oh,
how
really?
many people are under 30 years old? The whole place raises their hand. I think the people who grew up liking Limp Bizkit probably are a little older, and they'd probably rather me do a Paul Newman and give them some salad dressing or some soap.
I will take some salad dressing and some soap. Thanks, Fred. Ego and Vice, episode 119.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago. Well, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk.
Hey, this is Mike. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 119. Thanks for tuning in. Everything's good on the Ego and Vice front. I'm good still. Just planning out, waiting for the show next week at Avant-Garde. The Ego and Vice podcast presents One Night Only series with myself, my buddy Matt Luloff, amazing artists Ottoline and Brock and Ian from Class of 91. Check it out. Advanced tickets are available at Eventbrite. Anyway, on the podcast today, I have three members of an awesome band in Ottawa. They are called Fifth. Devon, Vinny, and Zane. Had a conversation with them. Great guys. Tons of stuff on the go, and Fifth is really, really rolling. So let's get right into it. This is the brand new single from Fifth. It is called Another Day. On the other end, we come back with Devon, Zane, Vinny, Fifth, Ego and Vice.
Place with all different faces, I've never seen this side.
Hey, welcome back to Ego and Vice. This is episode 119. As promised in the intro, I am sitting here with three members of the local band Fifth. I'm here with Devon, Zane, and Vinny. How's it going, fellas?
Going good, homie.
All right, all right.
Good morning.
Good morning. I think the very first time I ever met you guys, but maybe we didn't know we met each other, and we're kind of jumping ahead in the fifth history. But we met at a local gig at a local place called The Womb at an acoustic show. I guess you guys, how do you guys know Sarah Gott? She's like the one who puts who owns the Womb basically. It's her venue. How did you guys get that gig?
Yeah, she actually reached out to our guitar player Max and showed interest in having us come play. And he brought it to us. We've never done an acoustic show before, so we were very excited to start that and see what it's like. And we've done one since that show, so we really like the vibe. And that was our first time at the Womb, so we were kind of just checking it out and see what the venue was like and what the experience was like. And she gave us a really good time. So
right on.
Yeah, big shout out to the Womb too. That place is incredible. Like the atmosphere they have going on there is cool. They're big, huge promoters of local music, and we can definitely shout out them and Sarah specifically too. Yeah. We had an amazing time playing there.
Amazing. I've known Sarah for years and years. She used to play. I'm in a band called Goat. Well, I have a band called Goat, and she was the guitar player for Goat for a few years. She was in the band like 2 different times. She quit both times. Way to go, Sarah! But I love her like a brother. How's that? Like I said, we are jumping ahead. You said it was fifth show at that Womb show. Now I look back. I did a little bit of history on you guys, as much research as I can do, being the pro journalist that I am. And I think the earliest that I could go back as far as a show, except for a secret one, which I'll get you to talk about, was at the 27 Club on February 17th of this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct. See?
That is number one without the secret show.
Okay. Let's back it right up and say, how did this even begin? Where did Fifth come from? How do you guys know each other? How did you find each other? And when did you say, hey, we should start a band?
Okay, so Vinny and myself, we went to school together, never really talked, saw each other in the halls, and then 6 years later ended up seeing each other at the skate park, becoming friends through skateboarding, and he showed some interest in doing music with myself, and I was currently doing Zane at the time, and we wanted to write a song together and just see what we can make, and we wrote a song, and it really showed me his potential on how he can write lyrics and write a song with me, and we ended up using the song we wrote for a Zane track. And we didn't start a project with the song we wrote. I just kind of took it for my own project and had him be on the song.
Okay.
But that whole process of me figuring out what Vinny's capable of, I was like, yo, we have something here. You have something. I would love to start a project with you. I'm going to gather a group of guys and see what we can make. And then that's when I reached out to our guitar player, Max, and us three kind of tried to figure out what to do, got another bass player, which ended up being Alex, who is our guitar player. And then after the guitar player, after getting Alex as a bass player, we moved him to guitar and got Dev. But it all started because we basically wrote a song for another project and then showed a lot of interest in working with Vinny again.
Right.
So,
it's funny how stuff happens like that. It's like you don't really kind of set out for stuff, but it's all this happy kind of row of like accidents and like little mishaps and little events, and all of a sudden, everything starts clicking, and then you kind of, it's nice to find energy or that kind of groove with people, right? Because it's really hard to do, actually. Like you could jam with 10 people in a row, and you might not have the same thing you had with like when you found with Vinny when you guys were working together, right? Did you want to just I know I introduced you of who you are, but what do you actually do in the band between the three of you? just so for info.
Yeah, my name's Vinny. I'm the vocalist, and yeah, man, like Zane said, this is everything was really new to me joining this band, but it was sick because they all kind of saw some potential in me, so I was pretty stoked on that, and like this is what I wanted to do for like the longest time, and now it's just like I'm there, man. I'm in a band, and it's been so cool.
Is this your first band, Vinny?
Ever. First band ever. And that's why doing that first song with Zane, that was like the first song I ever recorded and put out. So I was like, yeah, man, it's pretty big for me.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be, for sure. That's like, it seems like you found a winning ticket for sure, and it's pretty rad that you guys all get along too. So,
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No. The one thing is that 3/4 of the band are kind of like vets in the scene for our age, and myself, Max, and Alex have been in bands for probably over 10 years. And coming together, us three, and having Vinny being a new cat, it was really cool to start a new project because we kind of knew what we were doing being in bands before. I've done the trial and error with like 3-4 other bands, going really hard and being active in scenes and stuff. But this project was just friends making music and then seeing a lot of potential in the music that we were creating. And then now putting out our first song, we really just wanted to push everything.
And that was
try to like see how far we can take it. And honestly, it's been insane.
And that first song was Dead?
Yeah, Dead.
The single Dead, which was released January 27th, 2023.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
They found me in a gutter in Ottawa with a PBR and a bass, and they lured me with the promise of good times and more PBR. No, I'm just kidding. I've known Zane for a long time, just being like Ottawa music people. I've seen him at shows forever, whatever. We've just been buddies like kind of over the years and stuff like that. And like being good friends, good music. They needed a bass player. I just showed up. I'm like, hey, I can bass. And I make shitty jokes, like dad jokes. And my whole job is to do dad jokes and bass, which both things just carry the band forward in its own specific way.
Good. That's it. That's what you need, right? You need, I think, having a front man with the energy, like that new band energy, where it's something you've always wanted to do and you do it. It's probably pretty infectious too for the rest of the band. That probably where the overall energy comes from, right?
Vinny and I sharing center stage, kind of. It's usually me and him dancing. I'm copying his moves. He's the dancer.
He's a dancer. All right.
And I go nuts. It's like a switch flips, and then I'm like, it's Vinny in fifth,
Gotcha.
As soon as I get on stage.
So it's been I guess it's been a pretty crazy year then since the first single dropped and then the first show in February. Before the band got started, I guess because of your other bands and your affiliations in the music scene, I guess there was some buzz being built even before you launched like Fifth. And when the single Dead came out, how was the reaction? What was the response of that?
Everyone loved it, and we put a lot of hard work, and we honestly worked on that release for probably 4 to 5 months before we even put it out. We made sure there was a lot of effort and time, and the music was done before we even made an Instagram account. It was like fully like we started the band probably in like June, July, but didn't actually release anything until February. Or was it January? It was January. And that just shows like that time from July to January was all building and building and building and making sure when we release it's totally professional and everything's like on top.
Yeah, that's good. And that comes from the experience of being around for a long time too. And yeah, you start a band, there's no rules that say you got to play a show within the first month of like starting a band, build your brand and build a product and build a set and practice the set, and then when you're ready to take it public, make sure it's fucking ready to roll, right?
Yeah, that was very important to us.
I respect that. Yeah, man, it's smart.
Yeah, for we had a really good time, like making all the music and honestly being very curious on how it's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
So we were very surprised with like the reaction. I think we got like 5,000 streams in the first like couple days.
Right.
And we were like, wow, like usually you have that bracket on Spotify saying you have under 1,000 streams for like so long.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And
that's good. No, that's good, man. It's traction, and it just shows that you did it right. And over the course of the year, you didn't stop there as far as Dead. The next one was Rockin' a Hard Place, a single which was released in February. And then
right before our first show.
Right before the first show. So it was like the single. Yeah, okay. The debut at the 27 Club. And then in March, you released an EP, the self-titled 5th EP. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
We did. No, it was great.
And how was the recording process? What did you guys do for that? Did you do it yourselves, or did you go somewhere?
Yeah, we have a homie, Dan from Oshawa.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Bell. He was a kid that opened up for my previous band when we played shows in Oshawa. Kind of had him as a Facebook friend and kept on seeing his work, being a brand new producer.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him progress over the months and over the year of him starting to make music. Was very interested in working with him. Had him come all the way down from Oshawa and crash on our couch.
Mm-hmm.
And we recorded everything in our apartment for that first EP.
Oh, yeah?
Except for drums. Drums was the only thing we rented the studio for.
Mm-hmm.
But everything you heard was done in our living room or Vinny's bedroom, being vocals and guitar.
What did he bring down with him? Just himself, or did you guys already have all this?
Home rig. Like,
he has
his home studio at home, and he packed his car up with everything and set it up like it was his own at our place.
Yeah, I have an experience of that when I was younger. There was a guy named Simon Head, and he was basically a traveling studio. He basically drove around Canada in a van with all the stuff, and he would just go from city to city and record like bands and songs and singles and stuff. It's a good idea if you can do it, I guess, if you have the time.
It's the new day and age. Like,
no,
you can really. Can we swear on here?
Absolutely.
Okay, you can really fuck some shit up with a laptop and an Airbnb or a cool spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of bands are doing that nowadays, and it's showing you that it's a lot in the editing and the producer working online and on their computer. And it really showed us that we don't need to like rent the big studio and put in the thousands of dollars into making a record, mm-hmm. when really we can. Like, it just goes to show our music, like, it was done in our apartment, and it sounds amazing, and we're super proud of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And a big part of that was Dan Bell, too. Like, we're saying you can kick ass with a laptop. You can really kick some fucking ass if you have Dan Bell and a laptop.
There you go.
That's a big thing, right? It's not just about having a person on the road. He does fantastic work. Listen to our tracks, the huge sound, lots of good taste and flavor in there. He's got his own little signature little touch that can't just be replicated by anyone. We couldn't be more thankful.
That's a good shout out, though. Yeah, and like I said, technology today, you don't have, like, back in the day when you had to like rent the studio and you had to go in the big double doored room with the triple glass and all that stuff and the booth and stuff. It's like, sure, I guess you can go still do that if you want the experience, but yeah, if you know somebody and you can do it at home and you can get the product sounding that you are happy with, I think is the main thing, you know what I mean? And you can't tell the difference, and I think that's the way to go. And there's lots of like local studios and like people that are doing that, so you don't have to seek out that big expensive place anymore, and I think that's awesome. And it's also making people more creative, and more music is coming out than it would have before, right? And I think the main point is just getting the music out there, for sure.
Yeah, we definitely weren't rushing putting it all out, but we were eager for sure. We were stoked on what we had all kind of collectively made for that EP, and yeah, kind of like Devon was saying, it just like shows, just between all the songs, I find it shows that we got like different flavor, and we have like, you can like see who some of our inspiration like is, and just like not every song's the same, and it kind of like a roller coaster, but in a tasteful way. And yeah, man, we were just super stoked to just release that and see if people actually vibe with it, and so far they are.
Yeah, it's fun, man. That's why we do it, right? Because it's a labor of love. So a couple more releases, I guess. Fade Away came out, and then September 5th, and now you have a new single on the verge of coming out called Another Day.
Yeah, you got it.
That's in a couple of days. That's dropping.
That's on Friday.
Friday. Wow.
So I'm not sure when this comes out, but
Another day.
yeah, exactly.
So as far as performing, also I was looking at you've not just the Womb show, which we talked about right off the top. I see shows at Cafe de Cuff, Saw, Club Saw, the Brass Monkey, and you got something coming up in Toronto. You're doing a little bit of touring now, or?
Yeah, I mean, all those shows were sick places to go play, but yeah, in terms of like what we got next, we're playing in Ottawa on December 1st, and then we'll be in Toronto on the 9th, and then the 15th we're in Kingston. So the boys are hitting the road, and we're pretty stoked, man. Just want more people to listen to our stuff and see what we have to bring as a band, because I feel like we do bring it every time, and I'm just stoked for other people to come and watch.
As far as writing goes, Fifth. First of all, the name. Can you explain the name?
Fire in the hole.
Fire in the hole, fun in the hood.
Oh, is that what it means?
No. It originally started being fucked in the head,
Okay.
and we did not want to call it ourselves fucked in the head. And I don't know if you ever heard of a band called Fiddler, but there's just other bands like that the letters in the band name like spell out something.
Yeah.
That was our whole gimmick. Is people are gonna say what's a fifth, but if you really look into it, it's fucked in the head.
Gotcha.
But we don't really identify as that or anything. We kind of like people to guess what it is and figure it out.
Well,
you got the scoop. I don't think we've publicly actually admitted what it is before.
Okay. Well, but you didn't really. You kind of did, but you kind of didn't. So I have something super in common with that, though. It's just really funny too, is because my band is called Goat, and everyone thinks Goat now is greatest of all time, but it's always been Getting Old and Tired. And because there's so many different goats. If you Google Goat, there's different goat bands. So I put an exclamation mark at the end, and you guys have that as your eye.
You got it.
It's just like, wow, man. I guess that works out. Yeah, Getting Old and Tired. That's what I always tell people. What's your band name?
In the head, we couldn't be regular and just put a regular eye, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's different though, right? I think it's cool. I don't know. There's punctuation. There's punctuation in life. So anyway, getting back to the songwriting and stuff. What does Fifth write about? Like, who's the primary lyricist? Who writes?
Yeah, I write all the lyrics. Yeah, I mean,
All right.
There's definitely times where we're like recording and someone will be like, "Oh, like say something like this or say something like that," and like that's what's cool about us is like we can kind of switch it up on the fly and see what works and see what doesn't. So, but yeah, primarily I write the lyrics.
Is Fifth like your when you write lyrics? Are you more topical? Do you write about what's going on in the world? Is it a political kind of take on it, or is it more introspective of fuck the world type stuff, or love the world, or what's going on?
It kind of depends on the song, but I wouldn't say I'm like super political. I'd say it's more just like how I'm feeling. Like sometimes you're just pissed off of the world, and I feel like that comes out in like the songs that I sing. It's especially through the last few years. It's been I feel like everyone's been through a little bit of a doozy, so just kind of letting off some steam. I think that's the best way to describe my writing would be like letting off steam.
Did you always write, even growing up?
Yeah, man. I was a high school rapper, so that was my thing. I started off writing raps and stuff like that, and then I try to write songs here and there, but it wasn't my thing back then. And then like maybe a little bit before me and Zane kind of started writing together. Me and my buddy Hayden, shout out Hayden. We were just like messing around on the acoustic, and I was learning with him to like write actual songs rather than just rapping and then verses sort of stuff. So yeah, it was like through that I kind of figured that part out.
I can see that being helpful in any type of writing as far as lyric, like, because rap is all, it's words, right? It's how you use your words, and you have to be clever with them.
Yeah.
And the way you make everything flow together and make it, anyway.
No, 100%. That's
But
like
yeah,
a big part of my background is the rapping. So it's cool that you say that, because that's exactly how I think of it when I'm like writing like these songs. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say they're like pop songs, but in a sense, like just trying to do the right formula and make my words fit in where they should fit in. So,
well, they're fitting because the stuff sounds great. So
appreciate that. I've been yeah, I'm having fun doing it, and I'm testing the waters with different things. So it's cool.
Everything you said there is 6 feet deep. Swallow your regrets by now. You know your days are coming. 'Cause you're dead to me. Cowards in the dark, you're the air we breathe. Listen to my heart, trust what I see. You know your days are coming. Because you take it all away. Changing what you say, leave us in the gray. Profit off our losses, getting richer every day. And that's not okay, we're not okay. Fuck, this place is so corrupt. Cut it with the lies, open the walls, you're closing up. Work me to the bone, mostly you say it's not enough. But what the fuck is enough? We're killing people I love. Because you take it all away. Changing what you say, leave us in the gray. Profit off our losses, getting richer every day. And that's not okay, we're not okay. 'Cause you're down. 'Cause you're down. 'Cause you're down to me. Dead to me. Everything you said buried 6 feet deep. Swallow your regrets by now. You know your days are coming. 'Cause you're down to me. Cowards in the dark, you're the air we breathe. Listen to my heart, trust what I see. You know your days are coming. You know your days are coming. Your days are coming. Your days are coming. Your days are coming. Your days are coming.
some of you have been playing in Ottawa already, and now that Fifth is kind of an active band and going strong, how has the Ottawa music scene, like the other bands and just, you know, your peers and stuff, taken to you guys?
Yeah. Okay, so Zane here. I was really involved in the community before COVID with my past bands, Lee's Avenue and Letdown. And I don't know if you ever heard of Aska Punk, the Nepean house venue. That was home base for me. And that house had its own community itself with so many bands. And what I saw when COVID happened, I saw a lot of the bands that I was surrounded with kind of die out, or they turned into different projects, or they just stopped playing music. And I watched this new scene birth during COVID. And me being part of the scene before COVID and now, it's two different scenes. They're very different from each other, but I find that the scene now post-COVID has been thriving more than ever. More bands, more kids coming out, more younger kids making music. And me being around for a while, I love to see it, especially like my younger cousin Zach and his band Neon Ghost House. They came came out kind of mid-COVID, or they probably started before, but they gained a lot of buzz after 2020, and it was really cool to see them and see other bands like really thrive. So I think that, I don't know if that answers the question, but
no, it definitely does, and it wasn't so much of a question. It was just more of just like, hey, how's it been out there for you guys? And,
yeah, the scene's been crazy.
I went to that gig just recently where you guys were there too on Saw, and that was like my first real kind of venture back in, especially with that corner of the scene you're talking about. Neon Ghost House were playing, Stoby, Class of 91, and everybody kind of knows each other, and they all kind of support.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they all kind of support each other, and I that's like a community, you know what I mean? And
that's the vibe I picked up.
Yeah,
especially from this post-COVID scene, is there's way more community and more people supporting and coming out. And that show that you're talking about, so many other bands that weren't playing that night were there supporting, and it seems like a big group of friends.
Yeah,
and we really love to see it and love to be a part of it. And people in this community really love Fifth, and we're super thankful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's all you're looking for, right? You're just looking for like a community which turns into a scene, which makes everybody stronger as bands, and it makes Ottawa look good. And you try to keep that going as long as you can, and it should stay strong provided the bands stay strong, and the support is what makes them strong, and just the love of doing it. So it helps not just like the fans that go see the music, but it helps like I said, I've been trying to help the Ottawa music scene forever, and if this is my way of doing it right now, but I thank you guys for wanting to help me help that part of it, to give me something to do too. So, you know, it stretches pretty far out.
100%, man. And yeah, like we said, like the turnout and just like the energy that everybody brings to the shows, like it's just so crazy. Like I said, being in my first band, seeing people shout your lyrics back at you, it's a pretty sick feeling. So we're just honestly just super blessed that people are riding the train with us and want to see us do well, because we want to do our best to impress those people and just give them the best product we can. So
good.
It's sick. Good,
man. Well, congratulations on the success for sure. And I'm sure it'll keep going, because I've listened to the music and it's great. And I'd love to catch you guys live. I played with you once doing an acoustic show, but I'd love to see you guys full band for sure, plugged in.
It's a different experience for sure. It's wake up the next morning with a sore neck and bruises on your body that you didn't see, but you're just so happy that you did it.
Cool. So what else is on your mind?
One thing we like to talk about is lots of support. The music scene isn't just like growing in Ottawa. We're getting lots of support and asks from Toronto, Kingston, Hamilton. There's some big scenes growing out there, and there's a number of like awesome bands that we could love to, you know, give some notes to or whatever. Again, they want to come here, we want to go there. I think the success in the music scene post-COVID is going to cross-pollinate in a cool way that next year I think is really going to shine as people come to their own.
Yeah, as a band, we're like, well, for me, I saw this first year for us to get our bearings set and figure it out, see what it's like to be in a band with each other, play shows, and kind of shake the dust off throughout the year. A lot of bands, Guest Room Status being one of them, they just started doing out-of-town shows right off the bat, and we kind of wanted to stick to our home base for at least the first year, and then get our live show like ready and set and rehearsed. So this coming up on our second year, we're really trying to push it more and play more out of town shows and get more exposure. And I think we're ready more than ever now because of the year we put in our hometown and doing local shows here. We've been told to, you know, jump early and play shows as soon as we could, but we really wanted to network with the right bands and network with the right promoters and really prove to people that, you know, we got our shit together.
Yeah, that's good, and it'll come out in the wash, right? Like the people will see that too, and it'll definitely come out in the live shows or the music. And I think starting in your local, like in your hometown, that's the best way to do it. Like you said, to kind of like test the waters and get comfortable, because as soon as you start doing your touring or doing out of town shows, you lose your fan base, right? And those are the shows you really got to dig in, and because you got to make a mark, and you got to win those people over, right? They might not be there to see you. They might be there to see the band after you. So
100%. And we're prepared to like really try to kick some ass and be ready. And next year is we're trying to get as much exposure and play as many out of town shows as we can.
It's good.
And yeah, the ball is rolling.
Yeah, I think that's that marks a success in music. It's like you can probably sell out your hometown, but how do you do on the road, right? And that's how you build a fan base. And the more you're out there, the more people you can reach, right? And
yeah, we had a little bit of experience in that too. Like we've been playing in our hometown, but we had some great opportunities come our way. We've opened for Broken Love and Bad Flower, which are like much bigger bands and stuff like that. And even in that scene, when that show was mostly full of their fans, because it sold out right away because they're huge.
Yeah.
We even in that scenario, we held our own, kicked ass, and like showed what we were worth. Got great feedback from the other bands, stuff like that. So even that show, even in our hometown, was kind of a show of strangers, just because they're so popular and pulled people that don't usually go to shows.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Even that, we had crazy good response, and we're gonna bring that same A game to the next crowd of faces that haven't seen us before.
Absolutely, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Any shout outs to any other bands or any other local people while you have a moment here?
Because we don't say all the right people like this.
You just want to put
you
it in.
You mentioned him before, Mr. Positive Charge Rich Chris himself. We love that dude.
Yeah.
He's our Jesus.
Oh boy.
Shout out my homie. No, go for it.
I was gonna say he's your Jesus. What are Rich Chris's commandments? Oh God, I don't even want to know.
We can't say it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Rich Chris is the man. He's that kid lights up a room easily.
Yeah.
His commandment would definitely be excellent to each other, like full Bill and Ted. I think that would be the Rich Chris commandment.
When you guys run into like little moments in your life where you're stuck, do you say, "What would Rich do?"
Yeah, he's actually contributed to our song Another Day, and we showed him a demo, and he said it would be cool if he did something like this, and we all listened to him and ended up doing that, and it's in the recording now. But again, that's just the very end part of the song where it stops.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big ring out before with guitars, and then he thought, what would it sound like if you just cut it really, really like fast and like made it end earlier? But again, you have to listen to the song to understand the ending.
Right. Maybe he's not the Jesus. Maybe he's your Rick Rubin.
Oh. We'd love that. One band I want to shout out is Gilgamesh, a super sweet, heavy, noisy band that has been playing in Kingston, is going farther in other places too. They're wicked. If you see a Gilgamesh poster in Ottawa, head to the show.
Cool. Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Go for it, man.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to shout out my homie Isaac. He was the one that kind of got us in touch with recording drums in a very nice studio, and yeah, man, he was helping like sound engineer the whole like process of that, and was a super big help, and it was really fun to work with him too. So
right on.
Yeah, that's Oyster Audio on Instagram.
Oyster Audio.
Yeah, he's definitely the homie.
Cool.
Yeah, and shout out to Neon Ghost House for the 10th time on this podcast.
Jesus,
those are like our brothers. Like we get along really well, and we have each other's backs, and we kind of like come up in the scene together. And even though they're a little younger than us, we just love to have them around, and we support them, and they support us. Really cool.
Awesome. Well, I know it would be a really long podcast if we thanked everybody. So
100%.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put you on that list too. Actually,
Thanks,
not
guys.
late.
Yo, Ego and Vice podcast. Check it out.
Check it out.
Thanks, guys. All right. I have a little game, and it's called 13 Questions with the Band. Would you enjoy playing the game? Would you like to? Do I have your consent to play the game?
Would you like to play a game?
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I guess that's a yes.
Time for 13 questions with the band. Yes, this segment's back again. It's called 13 questions, but I only asked 6, maybe 5.
We're back. This is 13 questions
Well, what?
with Fifth. Actually, it's not 13 questions. I only asked like 6, but I don't know. It's just called 13 questions with the band. You can each answer. If you want it to be long-winded or if you just want it to be rapid fire, it's completely up to you. Okay?
We'll play it as she goes.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Play it by ear. First question for anybody who wants to answer first. What would be your death row meal?
I mean, I'm basic. Probably spaghetti and meatballs.
All right.
A gold 5th record.
That's what you'd eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like a good sandwich.
I'm with you on that one.
But that's a
Anything between some
trick answer, though, because so many things are a sandwich. I consider a hot dog, a shawarma, a hamburger, peanut butter and jelly. Quesadilla, that's a sandwich. But Sabitos, that is my death row.
Gladstone.
Yep.
Yeah, Gladstone. Yeah. You get the samosas there when they're warm.
They're
So good.
Yo, they're actually in our
it-
video. We shot part of Fadeaway's video in Sabito's shop. They were super good homies. They let us cruise down there. Like we're already eating their sandwiches all the time. Like if you're ever wondering where like a missing person in our band is, they're at Sabito's. Like I've gone there just by myself and popped into like the other half of 5th while just grabbing a samosa.
Nice. Yeah, you eat that samosa when it's warm, and it's like literally if you have like a paper towel, it turns like yellow. Like yellow. It's fucking great. Anyway, that guy used to work at Darienzo's, that one dude. Is that Sabito himself?
son.
Is that? Oh, it's the son. Okay. Cool.
I think he thought he could make better sandwiches and left. That's my guess.
It was a sandwich war amongst the sandwichers.
I actually think that's true.
the sandwicheries. I can see that.
Coming
yeah,
from
yeah.
Zane.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Next question. And 13 questions with 5th is what was the first record, CD, or tape that you bought with your own money?
Oh, I like this. Some people may or may not know this, but my first record I ever bought was a death metal record called Count Your Blessings by Bring Me the Horizon. And it had the famous song Pray for Plagues on that record. And that just goes to show what I was listening to when I was 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the MySpace era where my older brother was showing me nothing but Job for a Cowboy and Children of Bodom,
Mm-hmm.
Lamb of God,
Mm-hmm.
all the heavy stuff. That's what I grew up on.
Gotcha. Cool, man. I like Bring Me the Horizon. Do I like them? I haven't heard them in a while. I remember. It doesn't matter. Sorry, Vinny.
we like Bring Me the Horizon. They're good. Yeah, I think my first one that I ever bought myself was Billy Talent 2.
Huh?
But the first CD my parents ever bought for me was the soundtrack to Shrek 1, which is
Nice.
also fire.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, somebody once told me.
That guy just died, eh? That guy. The All Star. That song. What's that band called? Smash Mouth. That guy just died. Yeah, that's too bad. Anyway.
That's actually the first album I got for like cleaning my room when I was little. I got Astro Lounge, the CD with that on it.
Smash
But the
Mouth,
first one I
yeah.
bought with my own money was Doomsday Machine by Arch Enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Angela Glasso, crazy cool vocalist. They've changed since, but it was a crazy record. I love like the art on the front of the skull with this huge like circle around it. It looked crazy. Plays crazy. If you're into mellow death, it's a sick record.
Cool. Okay. Next question is what was your very first concert? Like one that you went and saw?
I love this. My first concert ever was Alice Cooper.
Ah.
I was 6 years old,
Uh-huh.
and my family, we have a family friend who is the hired gun touring guitar player for Alice Cooper,
Oh,
or
cool.
was. And when I was 6 years old, we got free tickets. Got to go to the floor, see Alice Cooper. Got to meet the whole band after. And that was my first concert, was seeing Alice Cooper. But then the next concert I went to after that, I was crying because I didn't get to meet the bands after. I thought it was a normal thing.
Oh, you thought that was the no? That's funny.
Because like that was my first experience, was going backstage and getting all this cool treatment for my first concert. And
What?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what was the second one? Do you remember? The one that
second one, Motley Crue.
Oh, you don't want to meet those guys anyway. Well, maybe you do though. That might be actually.
I didn't meet them, but I saw them on the Carnival of Sins tour, and it was pretty wild for a 7-year-old. It was on my 7th birthday, and Tommy Lee had a tit cam and basically turned on all the lights at the Corral Center, which is now the Canadian Tire Center, and every woman there, man, was on the screen flashing their boobs.
No.
It was pretty wild for a 7-year-old to experience.
Well, now you can relive it at
Thanks,
Blues Fest next year. That's gonna be something. Anyway, Vinny, first concert.
Yeah, mine's kind of a weird story. Not a weird story, but it sucks. So long story, I guess. My mom, like, my first show was supposed to be Nickelback. My mom bought tickets for the whole family to go, and then the night of the concert, we're all looking for the tickets because back then you got them in the mail. And she threw them out.
Oh, no Chad Kruger for you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So, Chad, if you ever listen to this, I'll take those tickets. But so after that, my first concert, it just so happened to be freaking Katy Perry.
And you made it though, eh? You actually made it into the venue?
I made it into the venue. I was on the floor, and you know what? I'll give it to her. She puts on a show.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
that brings up the whole argument of like apparently nowadays there's no such thing as guilty pleasure music. It's okay to like whatever you want. No shame. It's true.
No,
It's true.
no shame. Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, admittedly, I went with my girlfriend at the time, and it wasn't me who bought the tickets, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was good. I was in the front row. She sprayed confetti everywhere. Life was good.
There you go.
Yeah, for
Zane?
me it was Rush, actually, which is a crazy cool show to see.
Oh, that would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was way too young to like totally get it, but I was like, oh, this is sweet. I don't know, like, oh, there's a bunch of just like hairy prog dudes there, and I was just kind of like bopping around, but it was super cool. And not really still listening to Rush, but I'll never forget that experience. It was awesome.
Yeah. Rush, I just saw that they're actually thinking of like going on tour again with like a different drummer. How do you feel about that? Like those classic bands who lose like an iconic member and just keep going.
I saw Foo Fighters do it, and it was a hell of a show. Unfortunately, that was my first Foo Fighters experience, and it was without Taylor Hawkins, who is one of my favorite drummers. But
yeah, I guess so.
Bands that come back out of retirement, I'm pretty sure when I saw Motley Crue, that was their last show, and I was 7 years old. So,
and now they're on their 5th comeback, right? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but if a band can still rock and still do it, then all kudos to them.
Fair enough. Okay, next question is, if you had the chance to go, or like a time machine, or and you could go to any concert from any time, what would it be?
Limp Bizkit, Woodstock '99.
Oh Jesus! Break things. What's that song
Break
called?
Stuff.
Breaking things.
You're talking to like
Break Stuff.
Probably the biggest
Jesus.
Limp Bizkit fans in Ottawa right now.
Oh yeah. When I was oh god, about 10 years ago, I dressed up as Wes Borland for Halloween.
Hell yeah!
I had like the I didn't the only thing I didn't have was the blackout eyes, which is kind of the thing then. Anyway, Vinny, concert.
Mine would be
Or anywhere.
Yeah, it would be Woodstock seeing Tragically Hip.
Oh, cool.
They're definitely one of my favorites, and sucks that I never got to see Tragically Hip live, but that would be the one.
Oh, you never did?
Never.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. They were a great show. Good Canadian.
Yeah, man, that's
voice.
like my shit. I love Canadian music. I listen to it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to WrestleMania 19 and see Limp Bizkit play.
Oh, right, WrestleMania for sure.
I've actually seen Limp Bizkit recently, and it was wicked. I can only imagine back in the heyday.
Wait a second. Didn't Limp Bizkit used to do the Undertaker's theme music?
Heck yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'd probably be Rollin'. That was his thing when he was the American Badass. I might be a bit of a wrestling fan, so you may have just won me over a little more than you.
That's me right here, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Devon Dudley for the band.
Devon Dudley. Oh, you're going back, eh? The ECW days. Okay. Next question is, have you ever had a like a music I was there moment? You know the old stories where like Ozzy Osbourne like bit the head off the bat type of thing. You'd say I was there. Someone also said when the stage fell over at Blues Fest, that type of stuff. You ever had one of those moments?
I've the most like Ottawa I was there. It's a collection of I was theirs. The funny thing about Ottawa, if you just like smoke outside of any venue, all the big bands usually play like medium-sized clubs. So the amount of joints I've smoked with like random cool bands is super awesome. Like Glorious Sons or like Gob and stuff like that. There's been like 3 times where like classic small town Ottawa, I'm just smoking a joint with some like rad people or whatever, and they just get on stage.
Right.
That's the Ottawa I was there.
That's fun, though. A couple more questions. Oh, did we answer them all? Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Or did someone else think of one? Okay, cool. Okay, 2 more questions. If you could you might have already answered this one. If you could open for any band, who would it be?
No, I won't say Limp Bizkit. I'll say my true answer. They already know it. It's Papa Roach. That's actually one of my favorite bands.
Cool.
Mine would probably be Alexis on Fire.
Nice.
Are we talking like good for the sound or just like dream band?
Any band you ever wanted to open for ever? You
Oh,
could
then
say
it'd
the
be
Beatles
Judas.
if you wanted to.
It would be Judas Priest, but it wouldn't really work. I think a really cool opportunity band that we could open for would be Bring Me the Horizon. I think that'd be fucking cool. But if I had like all time, like in my dream opening for a band, definitely Judas Priest.
Right on. I like it. Okay, and the very last question of 13 questions with Fifth is, if you could have a drink with any musician, live or dead, who would it be?
On the top of my head, Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee. As long as he brought his boob cam.
Where my mom's face on there?
Alive or dead? Probably Gord, honestly. Like, I feel like that would be a good little beer and chat. Yeah, Gord Downey for sure.
I think so too. I think
That
that'd be a very educational conversation.
I feel like I'd learn a lot, be better for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have a beer with my band. I don't buy into this like musicians are gods or they're more than people bullshit. I think that's a whole crock. They're just people having beers, and I know I like drinking beers with these guys, and I'd hate for someone I look up to turn out as an asshole, which they probably would. So instead of putting those people on a fucking pedestal they don't really deserve, I'd have a beer with my friends.
All right. Well, you can't really top that, and I think the lesson and the moral of the podcast is never meet your heroes unless they're Gord Downey. Because then I think that'd be all right. Anyway, any last words?
Thank you, Cleveland.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for having us on the podcast. Yeah, and shout out to everybody who's been supporting us and helping us along this way. It's been crazy, but man, we're having a good time. We're just gonna keep coming. So get ready.
Yeah, I hope you all are enjoying another day. It's gonna be out right now. The video's gonna blow your fucking mind, or hopefully it is. And I hope you see the hard work we're putting in and all that, and I hope you're feeling it. That would be the best case scenario for us. Cheers.
Okay, right on. Thanks so much for being on, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. And definitely going to check out a full band show because the acoustic
December 1st.
Yeah, the acoustic one was pretty rad. So I can just imagine. So again, good luck with everything, and we will see you down the road.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem.
change, 'cause we're not that different, but you stay the same. Well, I'm afraid that you're quite that ticket to the ball and chain. Plan to change, 'cause we're not that different, but you stay the same.
Hey, that's the end of another episode of Ego and Vice. I want to thank Fifth for being on, fun guys, and Golden Biscuit. Check those guys out whenever you see them playing. They got bright futures. If you want to get a hold of me, you can always reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, just search it. Just search for it. It's everywhere. Ego and Vice Podcast. Trademark. I'm the only one out there, and I plan to stay that way. So, that's it for me. Again, thanks for showing up. And as I always say, take care of yourself and take care of those who take care of you. Anyway. Right? I think that's the saying. Maybe I fucked that up. Anyway, bye.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.